Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose with your host, Nickihanna. And today I have my very special guest, my True Religion jacket. You like it? Say no. But I have a very special guest here. I have our Jersey girl, Demi Gawdess.
Hello. I'm Demi Gawdess. How are you?
I am doing well. Look at you looking like a goddess.
Oh, thank you. You want to see my little
Her
top? Hold
snatch
up.
mama.
Mm.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is why I tell you, my YouTube is not for the kids.
Oh, no, it's not, honey. Only
Okay.
21 and above.
Only 21 and above. Alrighty. So you guys know the drill. This Weekly Dose is is my show where we talk about everything RuPaul's Drag Race season 13. And today we are on episode 14. So let's give a recap of what happened last week. Last week, the girls did an acting challenge called Hanny, I Shrunk the Drag Queens, where we see Rose bagged her third win. And
Congrats.
unfortunately, Olivia Lux had to sashay away from the competition. Now, the girls are back in the workroom, and Candy is like, girl, I just lip sync a third time. Now, even though I had to lip sync a third time, I sent that bitch home and I would send everyone else home. How do you feel with the confidence Candy had with lip syncing? Do you think the other girls should be nervous going into the final four?
I think Candy is an amazing personality. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one of the reasons why she's even there still. Um, her lip syncing skills are her skills. They're her skills, but like, they're enough to get her over the top. Like, I feel like everyone that she went up against, that person deserves to go home. Well,
Mm-hmm.
except Simone and Candy. Candy
Mm-hmm.
kind of deserved it.
Yeah, I feel like if I was Rose, Simone, and got Mick, I would be kind of nervous. Because Candy, once you're in the top four, usually, and based on Drag Race history, once you're in the top four, it really just depends on the lip sync. We have seen girls with track records, with really good track records, get sent home with girls who only won one challenge. For example, Sasha Velour,
Exactly.
and we've seen it again with Asia O'Hara. So I really think that track record is important until a certain point, and usually it's that top four. Once that top four hit, it's about the lip sync. So if I was the other girls, I would be nervous. I'm like, oh shit, she sent home, like two girls, three. She survived three lip syncs. Honey, we gonna keep an eye out for you.
Right. I think the other queens that are left, they're definitely strong lip syncers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Candy definitely has something to prove with these last lip syncs because none of these girls play.
Yeah.
None of these girls.
So we have no mini challenge this week, thank God, because I usually don't like the mini challenges for the most part. I really
They're
don't.
so random.
They're so random now. But I will say this: now I was saying you win a mini challenge, you win $5,000, Mama.
Okay.
We could do mini challenges all day if you want,
Right.
all day.
That's probably why they did a few.
Yes, yes. So we had no mini challenge, but we do have a maxi challenge, and the girls will be writing, recording their own lyrics and performing to RuPaul's new song "Lucky." I started singing Britney Spears "Lucky." She's so lucky. I'm like, we'll see if it lives up to that. But that's what the girls are doing this week. And they will be sitting down 101 with RuPaul and Michelle Visage on, I guess, RuPaul's new podcast. Because I thought they was going to be on What's the Tea, but I guess that's not a thing no more.
What's the tea is no more tea. It's now
No more
soda.
tea.
It's
We have ran out. They say Corona interfere with our supplier. So
right.
alrighty. So we start off with seeing the girls sit 101 with RuPaul and Michelle Visage. And our first girl we see with them is Got Mick. And I feel like Got Mick is so funny. And I think RuPaul just really somehow connects with Got Mick because RuPaul is just cracking up with anything Got Mick says. And I'm just like, all right, girl, are we going to get to the interview or are you just going to keep laughing at Got Mick? But what looking at, they talk about Got Mick's growth and her representing the trans community. How important do you think, now I already know the answer, but how important do you think it is for queens like Got Mick to be seen on Drag Race?
Well, God Mick is trans.
Mm-hmm.
I am also trans. I feel like it's great to see her on there because it shows that Drag Race is now moving forward. And the fact that Got Mick even has that great of a personality is like really shining through. Like trans people have like such a bad light on them sometimes, and they're usually the butt of the joke. So it's like, it's nice to see her not the butt of the joke. Now she's the titties of the joke.
That part. She's a nipples to the eye. Yes, I agree too. And what I love about Got Mick, is that she's not. I mean, because when people say many people think of trans, they think of this. They try to put. I'm not trans, so I'm not going to speak for trans people, but they try to put trans people in a certain box of how they need to look, how they need to act, and Got Mick is just like she's not the norm at all.
Exactly.
So and that's what I love about Got Mick. Like she does not fit into any box, and she lets it be known. And she's also so talented. That's one thing I would say, and I said this last week when I was with Betsy, was she surprisingly is so talented. Like she checks off every box. And so I feel like for this to be the first trans man and openly trans person, I think, no, not openly trans person, but the first trans man on the show, I feel like this is, and the fact that Got Mick is killing it.
Right.
I'm like, there's no reason we shouldn't have other trans people on the show now.
Exactly. And Rue's, switching up even her saying. She's like, racers start your engines. Like, you know what I mean? It's not gentlemen no more, because it's not about men dressing up as women. It's literally an art form. Like,
literally.
And that's what people need to really understand. And I think Rue's going to help understand that, like help the community understand that.
Yes. All right, so next up we have Rose. Now, listen, this is a little questionable. They was talking, I'm listening and whatnot, and then I hear Michelle Visage says, "Well, you haven't been doing drag too long, to like 3 years, right?" Girl, Rose has not been doing drag for just 3 years. I'm like, no way, and not her coming at Olivia, because Olivia only did drag for like what, a year or two.
A year.
So I was like, I don't know, that's a little questionable. I mean, even though I heard that Olivia actually hasn't been doing drag for just a year or two, she's been doing it longer. So I'm just sitting there like, see, y'all just up on this stage is lying to everyone. At this point,
Rose definitely has some like more skills to her than just 3 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like 3 years is not that much time. So
exactly.
I don't know. Maybe it's just in the moment you just say, yeah, you just agree to everything.
I don't know, because I'm going into my 3rd year of drag professionally. I don't count the baby years, those other years. But I am going to drag, my 3rd year of drag professionally. Girl, I can't do half the shit that Rose do. I can't say, I can't be funny like that on the spot. I'm like, girl, that takes more than 3 years of work, bitch.
Right.
So I was a little questionable about that. And then they talk about her Scottish heritage. I didn't know she moved straight to Texas when she moved from Scotland. I'll be honest, and I'm sorry for my white viewers out there. I really don't care when y'all be talking about I'm Irish and Scottish. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. There's not just always nothing specially about it.
Right.
To me, at least. I'm like, okay, girl.
I just feel like, not trying to be racist, but, like white people, like the ones that come from like Ireland and, wherever, they'll be like, well, I'm not white, I'm Irish. It's just like, you're still white though. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're still white. Like, just like if I was like, oh, I'm from Jamaica or I'm from wherever, Puerto Rico, like I'm still black. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm still black. Like I'm still black.
Oh my gosh, you remember? I don't know if they still do this. But remember, how old are you?
I'm 23, freshly.
Oh, never mind, she's younger than me, so you definitely remember. I'm 24, and I remember when I was teenagers, everybody wanted to be Native American and Cherokee. Girl, you're black. You're black. You're black. Stop it.
Yes. My family loved to go with Cuban.
I love that you said my family They like to go with cute.
Yeah, I'd be like, girl, where?
Okay. But speaking of Black, we have Black excellence itself, Simone sitting with the judges. And this one was really interesting because it was talking about her shyness. And I really do, I don't know, Rue is pushing that Simone has this big ass inner saboteur. Do you really think she has a huge inner saboteur?
I think she has a huge inner saboteur. It comes out when she is not most confident. She knows she has the confidence. It's just like when you're putting on a spot like that, like some of that confidence just go out the window. You know what I mean? You're just left with the raw confidence you have, and sometimes it like hurts her a little bit because she just can't handle it.
I will say, of course, everyone has their inner saboteur, but I'm like with Simone, it's like you know it when it's there. You know when it's there. She's in the bottom too.
She lets her inner saboteur hit her hard, but she also doesn't let it affect her too much because she has 4 freaking wins.
Yes, you know, yeah. And so we talk about her shyness, and you know, RuPaul's giving her advice and stuff like that. Now I don't know about the crying and the confessions. I'm like, that was a bit much for me.
Girl, she was crying this whole episode. I was like, you know what? I don't even think I'm gonna be able to watch this. Like, I cannot do the tears, honey.
But we also find out that, and she has stated this before, she is in the House of Avalon. Now, I don't know too much about the House of Avalon besides Gigi and her, but I love the close-knitness I be seeing. So I feel like she has a great support system. I think that she came prepared to Drag Race.
I think she was also thinking about Gigi's run a lot. And it kind of like was like, okay, well, I got to either match Gigi or beat Gigi. Like, girl, just do you. Just do you. It doesn't matter if you match her or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just do you, girl.
Yeah, I didn't really care for Gigi on her season. I was more of a Nikki Doll person.
I like Gigi, but she started to fizzle out. She was definitely fizzling towards the end.
And last but not least, we have Candy sitting with the judges. We talk about the origins of Candy, who Candy is, where she get her name from, which I always love it when a queen tells me where they got their name from, what inspiration, because we just get it from anywhere. There's so many different reasons why someone's drag name is their drag name. Most people don't understand that or recognize. I thought it would be easy for people to get the hint where my drag name came from, but you know how many times I get asked a question, so how did you get your drag name? I'm like, I don't know, girl. I just sat one day. I was like, I was like Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, boom, they had a baby.
Nickihanna.
You know how many people like, oh yeah, that went over my head. I did not even know that. I would never guess. I'm like, okay.
That's what I kind of figured, but you know, everyone has their story.
You be surprised how many times I get asked that question. Alrighty, so and RuPaul is talking about, you know, Candy's personality, you know, and her drive, and that her drive gotten her this far and stuff. Now, I wouldn't really say her drive. It's definitely her personality, because half the other bitches before her who left also had the same drive as Candy, but I don't think they just matched up in personality. So
right, Candy's personality was beyond, like, it was really what TV needed, especially for Drag Race. I feel like Drag Race has been so like, oh, we're all best friends and we're all in this competition. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I feel like season 9 too. Like, it was just all that friendship shit. I don't care. Y'all could be friends out after this. Like, I want to see some drama. I want to feel something. I want to be like excited for the next episode, not excited for a kumbaya circle.
Yeah, definitely.
So she brought that level of entertainment that I needed for TV, and I respect it and I live for it.
Yes. And you notice next week when they were showing the preview for the reunion, they made sure to show they made sure to show when Tamisha said me and Candy would never be friends, because girl, that was one of the highlights of the season, that Candy Tamisha thing. That was probably one of the best moments. I think, that was the best moment in Drag Race Untouched.
Right. I think Candy needed that moment so that way it can like humble herself back down to like, all right, bitch. Like, even when she said in this episode, she was like, you know, as soon as she had that shit, she was like, you know, take a breath, like, bitch, worry about yourself. Dead ass, because if she would have stayed like that during the whole competition, she wouldn't have probably got far. She probably went home. She probably would have went home with Simone.
Yeah. You said with Simone.
Oh, with the Simone lip sync. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. All right, so the girls they're done the talk with RuPaul and Michelle Visage, which I'm gonna be honest, I really don't really care for them unless they're like really funny. But then we see the girls, they have rehearsal with the only one, Jamal Sims' fine ass. Jamal Sims, and it seemed like everyone is getting the choreography down except for Simone. She's really struggling with the choreography, and then Rose is just blowing the choreography out the park. She's like another Katya. Remember in season 2, they was also like, "Oh my god!"
Right, they were shook. There's always that one person that get the whole crowd shook.
Now in a challenge like this with a group challenge, you're writing and recording your own lyrics to a song. You're dancing. How important do you think choreography is when it comes to a group challenge?
Oh, it's 100% important. If you don't know the words, you can fake it with the watermelons and all that. But you know, those movements, they gotta hit, and they gotta hit hard. Like, that's really what's telling the story right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and if you just like shy in your way and you're just like timid with the moves, then whatever you're saying doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your body language literally says it all. So choreography is definitely important.
I agree. I think it's definitely important. And now we get to of course, we have Elimination Day, and the girls are talking about this is their last time in the workroom. And let's be honest, the viewers, we do not care about that. We want to see the runway now. And
yes.
challenge. I'm like, here we go, another season 9 thing. Let's go challenge. Thank you. Right. So we are on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race, and the girls are performing to RuPaul's new song, Lucky. The graphics, oh my gosh, the graphics is so, I love the graphics. Like, the whole kind of story, the whole, I don't know what you would call it, because I don't do anything in like video production. But the video production was great. I think the video production was great. But we have our first queen performing is Gottmik. What did you think of Gottmik's performance?
10s across the board. I loved it. I liked how hers was like very like witty. That's all I can remember. That's all I can remember. Honestly, I looked at them as all as a whole. But Gottmik, I loved her lyrics. I try to like listen really hard for those lyrics. Hers was really good. That's all I can really say.
I think Gottmik did sick then compared to one of the first episodes where she had to do congratulations.
Oh my god, yes. I forgot about that. Like, congratulations, that was bad. It was so bad.
But this one is like she did a whole 360. I loved the look. She was snatched to the gods. Her makeup is always on point. And I could understand every word she was saying. And I liked it how it flowed with the song. So I was like, this is pretty good. Yeah. And then next we have Candy Muse. First of all, I love the color yellow. I love the color yellow.
Candy 8.
Candy did also a much better job than she did in Congratulations. I would say not as good as Gottmik if I had to compare the two, but still good nonetheless.
Yeah, so I was trying to do that the same thing, like compared to the last girl, Gottmik was definitely better than Candy's. They were still same level though. Same level of like excellence to me. Is when we get down to the next two girls where it started lowering.
Really?
Yes.
What do you think of Rosé's?
Rosé's, it was cute. I liked Rosé's. I'm trying to think what she really said. Nothing's really standing out to me right now. Like, you know what I mean? And I just watched the episode. Like, nothing's really standing out to me. And same with Simone. Like,
that's crazy.
I didn't like those two.
I lived for Rosé's. I actually thought Rosé, she blew the other girls out the park.
Really?
I thought she did the best. I understood exactly what she said. Only thing is, I didn't really too much care for the her outfit itself. I would have rather much wore Candy's personally. That's just me. She still looked good, but her hair was great. But her dancing was great. her voice was great. She sung and then she spit into a rap, which, and it's crazy because I understood everything she was saying in the rap. So I'm like, okay, I was
Right.
catching it.
And I'm not saying that I hated it. Like I did
Mhm.
like it. I'm just putting them all in order.
Yeah,
All in
okay, and
order.
that is definitely okay. Yeah, I
Mhm.
thought to me, Rose did the best. And then we have Simone, and I'm going to agree with you here. I was like, mm, I think she did. If I had to compare all the four girls, this was my least favorite
It's
performance.
definitely my least favorite. And I was like, oh, so disappointing because
Mhm.
Simone is almost like not like Gigi, but like why towards the end you're starting to fizzle? Like, why are
Mhm.
you starting to fizzle, girl?
Yeah, I was I was trying. I watched the Lucky performance 4 times, and I was kept trying to understand what the hell Simone is saying. All
Mhm.
I got was pretty in the brains, and then
Yeah.
that's about it. I feel like her character, because Simone does put on this. I feel like she put on this sort of character, like
To hide
it was in
what
drag.
she doesn't want to be seen. She definitely
Yeah,
puts that character on so that way she doesn't have to like show what is being bad.
yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just
Hmm.
step it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I'll probably it's a bad thing because there's many people who tweak up their like drag, like they have a different voice or they have a different style when they're in drag. Because I'm definitely one of them. My voice gets a lot higher
Mhm.
when I'm in drag. Another queen who does it, Paula Dean White does it as well, right? You see that she got that distinct voice when she's in drag. And the same thing with Simone. I just feel like with Simone's, it just did not fit in. It hindered her in the performance, but she looked it great as always.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did. She did. They all look great.
they
And I
all did. Yeah.
loved how they were all in their own like box. That was
Hmm.
really cute.
It was giving me very much Say My Name, Destiny's
Yes,
Child.
yes. Cause I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Okay, so let's get into the runways. The category is Drag Excellence, Final Four Extravaganza. And I actually thought, since the direction of, production with season 13 and the fact that these girls did film this in the height of the pandemic, I thought I was going to see like another Canada, UK, All Stars 5 type time where they just let all the girls come back and show their best. And that was not the case. So I was disappointed in that, but still.
I was really disappointed in that. But I'm glad that they didn't do that because all those other seasons did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And
switch it up just a little bit. And they
that's what
did.
I love though. I wish they would have like there's two things I say they need to have a transition on Drag Race. One of them is letting all the girls come back and just show their final drag. Another one is and this is just for All Stars. They need to bring back that redemption runway. Those are only two things I need.
Oh, the redemption runway. Oh my God. That
Why is
was
it not a
amazing.
staple?
That was amazing. They should do that for every single All Stars, honestly.
Yes. But again, so the category is drag excellence, and our first girl we have up is Got Mick. I loved this look. I understood the story very well. I mean, of course, if you haven't been watching the season, you wouldn't understand the story, but I understood the story really well with her makeup and the outfit. This was perfection. I thought she looked sickening. Sickening.
Yeah, she was definitely polished. That was something I could see myself wearing in my size only though. But that, you know what, I like to look at Drag Race for inspiration, and that was definitely inspirational, and I wanted to take a couple notes off of that one.
All right, Leash, you got another outfit coming your way, girl.
Okay, hold up.
Yes, I love the cutouts. I love the makeup. I had my cousin here watching it with me, and she don't really watch Drag Race, and she was not understanding why she's seeing like a flesh tone makeup and white makeup. I'm like, because you wasn't watching her the whole season. I'm like, you would
Exactly.
know if that was the case. This bitch can do. The story was just so there. Like
Right.
I understood the story. Got Mick. She is usually got what Gottmik does, right? She's being true to herself, but also showing them that those flesh tones so she can do what other people expect, right?
Exactly.
She can do glamour, she can do camp, she can do all of that. And
Exactly.
I
She
just
literally checked off all the boxes. Like,
yeah.
that is rare. That's rare to check off all those boxes.
It's rare that you get the story like that. Just she turned the corner. I said, I already know what story she's giving me, and I live for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our next girl we have is Candy Muse. What do you think of Candy Muse outfit?
I actually loved that one. I thought it was unique to the top 4 runway. I've never seen that done for top 4. What I have done that, probably not. I would definitely want to. It sucks to say, but I would definitely have to go the gown route.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I love that she did something totally different and uniquely Candy.
I would say this Candy has nerve because I would have not. I did not really care for this. I felt like the color combination was a little off. Was a little off. The tailoring was okay. The sleeves was the tailored part. Everything else was tailored okay. Lee, I just wasn't a fan of this. And mainly not because the outfit is ugly, which the outfit is kind of ugly, but I think, in my opinion, but I've seen Candy wore a couple things much better than what she wore. Like, for example, her Beat It runway, her yeah, that's the only one I can come up with right now. Her Beat It runway. Her Beat It runway looks better than her final runway. And that's what I'm looking for. You should be showing your best. I shouldn't necessarily, I don't want to say it necessarily needs to be the best look you have, but it needs to stand out from all your other looks.
You know, Alaska said something in one of her seasons, or probably after, or whatever. I don't know when she said it, but she said it. She was like, she saved like a certain hair for that top 4, and if she did not get top 4, she was not going to wear that hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like as a queen going in, you just save something specifically for that top 4 that is just not going to be used. And if it wasn't being used during that, then it's just not going to be shown at all until after your season.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, because then it's like, it shows that you're really trying to save your best for last without trying to save all of your best for last. Like, just one staple, like the hair or a dress, like, you know what I mean? Or a shoe. You know what I mean?
Now I will say that her hair looked great.
Yeah.
Her hair did look great.
Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Candy's hair and Beat, that was really great.
Yeah. And our next third queen we got Rose. Is this her? Like, I understood, of course I understood she's Scottish and whatnot. And I can definitely see this being, the reason why she wore this for her final runway. I wasn't gagged over it, of course. I did like the fact that she wore a gown. Listen, I personally not wearing a gown if I ever go in Drag Race. I'm letting this know on record. I would not wear a gown. I'm wearing pants or a jumpsuit.
Wow, I'll wear a gown. I'd wear a gown. The best gown out here too.
No, I would want a jumpsuit or pants because I might have to lip sync. One of my favorite final runaways is Jujubee, and Jujubee was in the gown. She was in a whole jumpsuit. So there's ways.
Oh, her All-Star runway.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice.
Yeah. So Rosé's in this like Scottish print gown. The gown is fitted nicely. I really actually loved the gloves and the hair. The hair was the best part of this outfit.
Her hair was spectacular.
Spectacular. I was like, oh my gosh. First of all, it looked so heavy and it was so big. And I practice, styling hair, and it's hard to get that volume in a very long wig. I've never done that, sickening. And I found out who done it. So I was like, oh, it was a Jersey queen. Chastity did that. I'm like, word.
Yeah. I liked her runway. I didn't think it was the best on the stage. No. I think there was a couple details which I wish were changed, like the belt. I did not like that belt at all. Like, if she had like a thicker belt, I don't know, or maybe no belt. Like, I just felt like the belt just threw it off. It was like something else to just throw on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or like a belt in the same fabric as the dress, so therefore it blends together. It seemed like she just had this seamless waist.
Yeah, but it was a nice fit on her.
Yeah.
And it did look really good. It looked really well on her. Mm-hmm. I like that.
And then our last girl we have is Simone.
Simone just does black excellence, honey, to the T.
She does. And it was crazy because I was when she first walked out, I'm like, I'm not really feeling this. This is not her best look. Because, you know, when we see these Queen's final runways, we're comparing it to the rest of the runways they had on the season. And to me, I was like, no, this is not her best. This is not even, like, this is probably one of my least favorite outfits from Simone. But as I kept there, you know, as I sat there, kept watching her, right? The longer I watched her walk that runway and get critiqued by the judges, the more and more I fell in love with it because of the structure.
Yeah, the only thing I did not like about Simone's look was it was wrinkled. And I did not like those wrinkles, but the hair was on point. She had the sparkles in her hair. The dress color matched her skin beautifully. She was glowing.
Yeah.
Glowing. Like,
she probably did have, yeah, she probably did have some wrinkles. I'm like, you know what, girl, just say it's darts. Just say it's darts if anyone asks. But what I loved about it was the fact that it was the illusion that it was going to like a flared out gown.
Exactly.
Sleeves. I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking smart.
Right.
And then the hair, my cousin, she hated the hair. I lived for the hair.
That hair was so good. I loved it. If she didn't do those diamonds in it, I wouldn't have liked it. But those diamonds set it off. Those diamonds really set it off for me.
Yeah, so I'm like, because I would expect someone in a gown like this to have like a updo. My cousin said she need long hair. I'm like, no, she don't. She better not put no long hair on.
Yeah, she already got the long sleeves. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta have levels.
So I loved it, this look. So who was your favorite look on the runway?
Gottmik.
I agree. Gottmik had the best look. And your least favorite look?
Rose.
Mine will be Candy.
Wow. Mine's Rose. I love that she, you know, went back to her Scottish heritage, but it just wasn't her best for me. Like, Candy looked so good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't really given that really great runway. So the fact that she even put something together that was that polished set her over what Rose was already doing polished. So it's like, now bring it up to top 4 polished. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I just don't feel like Rose did that.
Alrighty, okay. All right, so the queens get critiqued, and I hate when they do critiques like this because they only say the positives. Girl, stop it. We already know we could not understand what the hell Simone was saying. We barely understood what the hell Candy was saying. You know, do better. I wasn't too big on the outfit. The outfit kind of itself. Yeah, so I'm like, stop it. We can just stop with the critiques and go right into the lip sync. So the queens come back, and shockingly, 2 queens is not lip syncing. All 4 of them has to lip sync one more time. Actually, before I get into that, remember they do the Why Should You Be America's Drag Race? What would you say to your younger self or whatnot? Simone was very emotional, super emotional, but I understood. I understood. I thought it was so powerful. I just wish she would said it more clearly. Because at first I'm like, what is she saying? I'm like, and then, you know, I'm like, all right. I'm like, hurry up with the speech, girl, because I'm about to cry too.
Right. You know, and I love Simone. Like, I just couldn't do all those crying moments. I'm not a sad queen. Like, I have my moments of crying, but golly, that was a lot of crying that episode. And I was like, oh my God, I can't watch no more crying. Yo, like, I can't do this shit. I can't do this.
Yes. Okay. But RuPaul asks all the queens, what would you say to your younger self? And all the queens give their advice and whatnot. And then we find out that the queens have to all lip sync one more time to secure a spot in the finale. Because this is supposed to be the finale, but girl, y'all just always anyway. Production do what they want. Yeah, so all the queens have to lip sync, but the gag is they all have to lip sync one by one to Whitney Houston. I believe it's I Learned from the Best. That's a song, right? I'm not
sure. Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, anyone knows I'm not the biggest Whitney Houston listener. I remember I gagged a lot of people in Philly when I said I did not know who Whitney Houston was until she passed away, and I did not know.
Wow, that is gagging.
Yeah, black card revoked.
Gay card revoked.
Okay. But yes, they lip sync to a Whitney Houston song, and I actually really like. I never heard the song. I actually really like it, but they always do. You notice when they do Whitney Houston, they most of the time they gotta do a remix.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is so shady. But anyway, they lip sync to Whitney Houston, and I'm gonna say this right here, right now. If this was a lip sync for the crown, girl, Simone won, y'all. She won. She ate that lip sync up.
And what I don't like about like the 4-way lip sync that they did or whatever, it's too many queens. Like, I don't have time to look at all the queens. I want to see what all the queens are doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just showing bits and clips, and it's just like, how am I really supposed to follow that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they all look okay.
Even with the 2-way lip sync, when you see queens lip sync in person, you're watching what both queens do, but they play the whole song. Why is Drag Race not playing the whole song?
They don't play the whole song, bitch. They said we on a time limit.
I'm like, listen, y'all have this time limit for Untucked. Y'all can make 5. Even if they don't show it all, on Friday live, not live, but on Fridays when they air. I'm like, damn, y'all could at least have it as like a YouTube video or something.
Right.
But
they said that's extra money out the budget.
They said, okay, no. We're not gonna show you that this girl actually fell.
Yeah, for real, because they really do be falling too.
But anyway, so they lip sync, and I have to say, Simone ate that lip sync. I felt like she was Whitney Houston watching her. What do you think of the lip sync?
Honestly, I like I said, like, it was just too much going on. They was all okay for me. Like, usually when it comes down to this like final 4 lip sync, like, you already know all of them are gonna stay, or if there was just one person that just was absolutely the weakest, they're gonna be gone. Yeah. And no one was really the weakest. Like, Candy had the worst track record out of all of them there, but she wasn't bad. Like, she wasn't bad up to that point. Like, you know what I mean? So I knew all 4 of them was gonna make it.
I don't know. This is based off the lip sync. Candy would have left, because when she took that thing off and started the dance, I'm like, no, this is a Whitney Houston song. I might not know who she was until she passed, but this is a Whitney Houston song. You don't need to be doing all of that. Don't do all that Whitney Houston song.
I like when she took it off. I don't think was it necessary? No. I don't think so. I don't think it was necessary. But you do what you gotta do to make it, and then they're doing it solo. So it's like, you really gotta do whatever you can to like sell it.
Part I like the solo part.
Yeah, I enjoyed that they did it all on their own, because then it's like we could really see, like, they could really see what's going on in that lip sync.
And I was really surprised with Rose, how she lip synced, because she lip synced with some emotion. I was like, ooh, girl, come on.
Right.
Let me find out you have an inner black self in you.
Yes, Rose is from New York. She know how to do it. She know how to do it.
Yeah, right.
She put through the ringer quite a few times.
So the queens lip sync, and we find out at the end that all the queens will be advancing to the finale. Woo woo, we already knew this, y'all. Y'all just, once again, we have an episode where nobody's going home.
Right. I think, honestly, that type of episode is just like a waste of time. It's like, if you're really not going to send nobody home, like, just put them all into the top 4. Like, come on now. Like, this is doing too much.
So, I will say this, you guys, and I don't know, listen, I can't confirm any rumors, because I don't really know what the hell's happening, but I am hearing that we might have an in-person finale.
What? Gaggy.
I hope so.
If they have an in-person finale, I'm gonna be actually really happy for that.
Yes.
It shows times is finally fucking going back to normal. Like, shit. Just cut capacity down.
Yeah. Yes. So all queens are advanced to the top 4. Yay, whoopie-doo. Now I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. Who team are you on? Are you on Team Simone, Team Rose, Team Candy Muse, or Team Got Mick? Demi, who team are you on? Who are you rooting for in the finale?
It's crazy, because in the beginning, like, promos, I was like, Simone is gone within the first 3 episodes. I was like, I am not feeling her. Like, I did not like that outfit. even when she walked in the workroom, I was like, yeah, she's done. She's done. But I think she's the one to win. If not her, Gottmik has to be. But then like it's like Rose is like fucking right up there with them. So it's like it could honestly out of them three, I would be 100% okay with, because they all have something different to give that crown. And I think it's beneficial for this day and age.
You know, I am rooting for Rose. I am team Rose 100%. She is the girl I want to snatch that crown. I will say this, and my guest last week said this, and I 100% agree with them. I think Simone is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Rose to win, but the message and the time period we live in now, I think calls for Gottmik to win.
Exactly.
So,
but you know what they do? They always do that shit. They always make it seem like somebody's about to win and then give it to the other bitch.
Okay, good. So that means Rose gonna win. All right, good. Yeah. All right, come on. We'll see you on All Stars then. If they're going that route. If they're going that route.
And that's another thing you got to think about. Well, what out of these four queens, who's really going to come back for All Stars? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we all knew Sasha wasn't going to come back for All Stars. Like, so we have to give her that crown.
I was like, oh, no. She's like, let me tell you, you want to do it now or you're not going to do it at all.
Yeah. So I think Simone would fare well in All Stars. Same with Rose. I don't think Gottmik would do as well in All Stars. So I think Gottmik really deserved this crown, but it might be Simone's crown. So who knows?
I think. Listen, I want Rose to have the crown. And I know a lot of people's like, Gottmik needs the crown because she, they are trans. Simone needs the crown because she's Black. I don't think everything needs to be political.
Exactly.
I don't think everything needs to be political. Sometimes it's okay if we're just not being political and we just going based off of whatever track record and just lip syncs itself.
Right. But I think sorry I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think Rose, she like improved the best out of all of them. Like she came in so uptight and now she's just like this really down to earth girl that you really want to vibe with. So I think that wholesomeness, that wholesomeness like really wants me to give her the crown.
All right, we don't even know if Candy, now we saying all this like as if we know Candy is not going to win.
Right. Candy, I love you, girl, but we'll see you on All Stars.
Nah, the gag is Candy won.
And that would be a gag. That would be an absolute gag.
I was like, woo, they know how to make television, I'll tell you that. But yeah, so let me know in the comments below, who team are you on? And also let me know in the comments below, who do you want to see with me as my special guest for the finale of RuPaul's Drag Race season 13? And should I have a guest next week for the reunion? Because I don't know how the reunion is going to go. Or we might have another season 9 reunion where it was actually pretty good.
Or maybe a panel.
Ooh. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Who do you want to see on a weekly dose? I'm doing with those YouTube stars though. Alrighty, I just want to thank, and that concludes another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race and another episode of The Weekly Dose. I want to thank my special guest all the way from New Jersey, Demi Gawdess.
Thank you, girl. And you can always catch me on Instagram at Goddess Demi. Goddess Demi. Thank you. You can always find me there. And I mean, I'll try to post more. But you'll see some posts. You'll see some, okay?
All righty. Yes. Thank you, Demi. And until next time, you guys, we'll catch you next week for the reunion of Drag Race. Bye.